The stars shone like tiny diamonds against the blackness of space. The UNSS Mercy glided between them, its white hull gleaming under the light of distant suns. Red crosses marked its sides, showing its purpose to all who saw it. Captain Do-Yun Kim stood on the bridge of his ship. He was tall and had dark hair with a few gray streaks. His uniform was clean and white, with the blue and gold of the United Nations Space Service on his shoulders. He looked at the main screen with steady eyes. "Status report," he said in a calm voice. Officer Mi-sun Kang turned from her screen. "All systems normal, Captain. We will reach Centauri Prime in 6 hours." Captain Kim nodded. The UNSS Mercy was the best medical ship in the human fleet. It carried no weapons, only the tools to heal. Its 6 hospital wings could treat thousands of patients. Its labs could make medicines for any disease. Its shuttles could reach planets that needed help, fast. "Any more news from the colonies?" Captain Kim asked. Communications Officer Ji-Ho Lee touched his earpiece. "Not since the last message, sir. They reported many sick people. The symptoms are high fever, trouble breathing, and blue spots on the skin." Captain Kim frowned. The message had come 3 days ago. The colonies on Centauri Prime had called for help. A strange sickness was spreading fast. Many had died already. "Dr. Park, what do you think about this disease?" Captain Kim turned to the ship's chief medical officer. Dr. Hae-Yoon Park was looking at data on her tablet. She was shorter than the captain, with short black hair and smart eyes behind simple glasses. Her medical coat was spotless. "It's not like anything I've seen before," she said. "The symptoms don't match any known human disease. We need to get samples and study them. I have my team ready." Captain Kim trusted Dr. Park. She was one of the best doctors in the fleet. She had saved thousands of lives during the Proxima outbreak 5 years ago. If anyone could solve this mystery, it was her. "Chief Choi, how are our medical systems?" Captain Kim asked. Chief Engineer Taewon Choi looked up from his station. He was a sturdy man with strong hands and a thoughtful face. "All medical equipment is working at full capacity, sir," he replied. "The nanite production facility is online. We can make 10 million medical nanites per hour if needed." Captain Kim nodded with satisfaction. The nanites were tiny robots, smaller than a cell. They could fix damaged tissue, fight infections, and even rebuild organs. They were the pride of human medical technology. "Captain," Officer Lee said suddenly, "I'm picking up strange signals from the Centauri system." "What kind of signals?" Captain Kim asked, turning to face him. "Not human," Lee said, his fingers moving over his controls. "And they're blocking the colony signals now. I can't reach anyone on the surface." Security Chief Jun Ho-Yoon moved to his station quickly. He was muscular with a serious face and alert eyes. "Scanning the system now," he said. His voice became tense. "Captain, we have 5 unknown ships in orbit around Centauri Prime." The bridge grew quiet. Everyone looked at the main screen as it showed the 5 ships. They were dark and pointed. Like knives in space, they didn't look like any ships the humans knew. "Are they armed?" Captain Kim asked. "Yes, sir," Chief Yoon answered. "Heavy weapons on all ships." Captain Kim thought for a moment. The UNSS Mercy was not a warship. It had good shields but no weapons. Its job was to save lives, not take them. "Officer Lee, send this message on all channels. This is Captain Do-Yun Kim of the United Nations Space Service medical ship Mercy. We are on a humanitarian mission responding to distress calls from the IDAR colonies on Centauri Prime. We come in peace and request safe passage." Lee sent the message. For a long minute, there was no answer. Then the main screen flashed and showed an alien face. The alien had scales that shone with green and purple colors. Its eyes were yellow with black slits for pupils. It had no hair but bony ridges on its head. When it opened its mouth to speak, it showed sharp teeth. "Human vessel," it said in a hissing voice that the ship's computer translated. "I am Supreme, War Leader Kazakh of the Vorn Imperium. This system is now under our control. It is under quarantine by our order. Your kind is not welcome here." Captain Kim kept his face calm. "War Leader Kazakh, We received distress calls from the human colonies. They report a serious disease outbreak. We are a medical ship with doctors and medicines that can help. The alien scales changed color slightly, showing dark red patterns. The weak deserve their fate. This system belongs to the Vorn now. You have one planetary rotation to leave. If you do not, we will destroy your ship. The screen went dark as the alien cut the connection. Well, said Dr. Park after a moment of silence, that was not very friendly. Captain Kim turned to his officers. What do we know about the Vorn? Chief Yoon touched his screen. Not much, sir. They're a species from the far side of the Orion Arm. Reptilian biology. They value strength and conquest. They've had some small fights with human colonies before, but nothing this bold. And their ships? Captain Kim asked. 5 vessels, Misun reported. 1 large command ship and 4 smaller warships, all heavily armed. Captain Kim walked to the front of the bridge and looked at the screen showing Centauri Prime. The blue and green planet had 3 human colonies with over 50,000 people who needed help. Options? He asked. We could call for help, suggested Lee. The nearest UNSS warship is 3 days away. Too long, Dr. Park said firmly. If this disease is as bad as reported, many more will die in 3 days. We could try to sneak past them, Chief Choi said. Use the planet's moon for cover. Their sensors would detect us, Chief Yoon pointed out. Captain Kim listened to them talk. The UNSS Mercy was built to save lives. It had the best medical equipment in human space. But now 5 warships stood between it and the sick colonists who needed help. Dr. Park, Captain Kim said after a moment. Come with me to the conference room. Chief Choi, Chief Yoon, you too. Officer Kang, keep us at this distance from the planet. Officer Lee, keep trying to contact the colonies. As they walked to the conference room, Dr. Park moved beside the captain. You have a plan, she said. It wasn't a question. Captain Kim gave her a small smile. I'm not going to let those colonists die, and I'm not going to start a war. So what are we going to do, she asked. Captain Kim stopped at the door to the conference room. We're going to show the Vorn why it's a mistake to think a human medical ship is helpless. The conference room of the UNSS Mercy was quiet. The large white table in the center seemed to glow under the soft lights. Captain Do-Yun Kim sat at the head of the table. To his right was Dr. Ha-Yun Park, the chief medical officer. To his left was Chief Engineer Tae-Wan Choi. Security Chief Jun-Ho Yoon sat across from them. What do we know about these Vorn? Captain Kim asked. Chief Yoon touched the table's screen. A hologram of the reptilian alien appeared above the table. The Vorn are a cold-blooded species, he explained. They come from a hot planet with 2 suns. They live in a society based on strength and power. Their government is called the Imperium. They respect only those who can defeat them. And they think we cannot fight back because we are a medical ship, Captain Kim said. Exactly. Chief Yoon nodded. They see us as weak. Dr. Park tapped her fingers on the table. But we're not here to fight. We need to reach those colonists. The last report said hundreds were already sick. Captain Kim looked at each of them. I need options. How can we get past those warships without starting a war? For a moment, no one spoke. Then Chief Choi cleared his throat. Captain, there's something you should know about the Mercy systems. He touched the table controls. Detailed blueprint of their ship appeared in the air. This ship was built during the Proxima conflict, Chief Choi said. While we carry no weapons, our medical systems have other uses. Dr. Park leaned forward. What do you mean? Chief Choi pointed to different parts of the ship in the hologram. Our medical nanites can be reprogrammed. Our surgical lasers can be recalibrated. And our shield technology comes from military prototypes. Captain Kim's eyebrows went up. You're saying we can defend ourselves? More than that, Chief Choi said. We can disable their ships without hurting anyone. Chief Yoon looked interested now. How? Dr. Park's eyes widened as she understood. The medical transporters, Chief Choi nodded. Exactly. They can do more than move patients. Captain Kim stood up and walked around the table. I need details. Tell me everything. For the next hour, they talked about the ship's systems. The UNSS Mercy was a medical vessel, but its equipment was advanced and flexible. So, Captain Kim said when they finished, our medical nanites can be reprogrammed to affect ship systems instead of human bodies? Yes, Chief Choi confirmed. They can temporarily disable electronic circuits the same way they repair nerve cells. And our medical transporters can remove people from dangerous situations? Captain Kim asked. That's what they're designed for, Dr. Park said. We use them to evacuate injured people quickly. Captain Kim turned to Chief Yoon. What do we know about Vorn ships? They use crystalline technology, Chief Yoon said. Very advanced but sensitive to certain frequencies. Captain Kim nodded slowly. A plan was forming in his mind. Here's what we'll do, he said. First, we try once more to talk to them. If they still refuse to let us pass, we move to Phase 2. He outlined his plan. The others listened carefully, asking questions and making suggestions. It's risky, Chief Yoon warned. If it fails, they will attack us. If we do nothing, thousands of colonists could die, Captain Kim said firmly. Dr. Park stood up. I agree with the captain. We took an oath to help those in need. We must try. Chief Choi nodded. I'll start preparing the systems. They left the conference room and returned to the bridge. Officer Lee looked up as they entered. Captain, the Vorn ships have moved closer. They're blocking our path to the planet. Open a channel to their leader, Captain Kim ordered. The alien face of war leader Kazak appeared on the main screen. His yellow eyes seemed to glow with anger. You are still here, human, Kazak hissed. Your time is running out. Captain Kim stood tall. War leader, I ask you again to let us pass. There are sick people on the planet who need our help. Kazak's scales turned a darker color. The colonies are under quarantine. No one goes in or out. Are you treating the sick? Dr. Park asked, stepping forward. The alien's eyes narrowed. The disease is not our concern. The strong survive, the weak perish. That is the way of the universe. Captain Kim tried one more time. We can help everyone, including your people if they need it. Medicine is meant for all. We do not need human medicine, Kazak said with disgust. We need human colonies. Your time is up. Leave now or be destroyed. The screen went black. Captain Kim turned to his crew. It seems we have no choice. Begin Phase 2. The crew moved quickly to their stations. The atmosphere on the bridge changed. They were still medical professionals, but now they had a different kind of challenge. Medical drone bay, prepare for launch, Captain Kim ordered. Deep in the ship, small round drones moved into launch tubes. Each drone was only the size of a dinner plate. They were normally used to deliver medicine to dangerous areas or to find injured people in disasters. Drones ready? Chief Choi reported from engineering. Dr. Park, are the nanites programmed? Captain Kim asked. Dr. Park nodded. Yes, Captain. They're ready. Captain Kim took a deep breath. Launch drones. From the bottom of the UNSS Mercy, 20 small drones shot out into space. They moved fast, headed toward the Vorn ships. On the Vorn command ship, war leader Kazak watched the small objects leave the human vessel. What are those? He demanded. His tactical officer looked at the screens. Small devices, war leader. No weapons detected. They must be cameras or sensors, Kazak decided. Ignore them. Prepare to fire on the human ship if it moves closer. The drones reached the Vorn ships. They attached themselves to the hulls, their magnetic feet holding them in place. On the Mercy's bridge, Chief Choi watched their progress. All drones in position, Captain. Begin nanite deployment, Captain Kim ordered. Inside each drone, millions of tiny nanites poured out. These microscopic robots were normally used to heal human tissues. Now they had a different job. They moved into the tiny spaces in the Vorn ship's hulls. Nanites are entering their systems, Dr. Park reported. They're mapping the ship's structures? Captain Kim nodded. How long until they reach the critical systems? 10 minutes, Dr. Park answered. Officer, Kang suddenly called out, "Captain, the Vorn ships are powering up their weapons." On the screen, they could see the 5 enemy ships moving into attack positions. "They're preparing to fire," Chief Yoon warned. Captain Kim remained calm. "Hold position. Shields at maximum." The first Vorn ship fired. A bright beam of energy hit the Mercy's shields. The ship shook slightly. "Shields holding at 92%. Officer Kang reported. Another blast hit them, then another. 85% shields, Officer Kang updated. 78% shields. Captain Kim watched the timer on Dr. Park's screen. The nanites needed more time. "Evasive maneuvers," he ordered. "Keep us at the edge of their weapons range." The UNSS Mercy moved gracefully for such a large ship. It dodged some of the enemy fire, but not all. "Shields at 65%, Officer Kang called out. "We can't take much more of this." Dr. Park looked up from her screen. "Nanites have reached their target systems." Captain Kim nodded. "Begin Phase 3. Dr. Park sent new commands to the nanites. Inside the Vorn ships, the tiny robots began their work. They didn't destroy anything. Instead, they temporarily changed how the systems worked. On the Vorn command ship, alarms started blaring. "War leader," the tactical officer shouted. "Our weapons are powering down. The engines are not responding." Kazak's scales turned almost black with rage. "How is this possible? It's just a medical ship." One by one, the Vorn ships lost power to their weapons and engines. They weren't damaged. They were just paused. On the Mercy, the crew watched in silence. "All 5 Vorn ships disabled," Chief Yoon reported with a hint of surprise in his voice. "Open a channel," Captain Kim ordered. War leader Kazak's angry face appeared on the screen. "What have you done to our ships?" he demanded. Captain Kim stood calmly. "We've temporarily disabled your weapons and engines. Your life support and other systems are still working. Your crews are safe." "This is impossible," Kazak hissed. "No," Captain Kim replied. "This is human medical technology. We came here to heal, not to fight. But you left us no choice." Kazak's eyes narrowed to thin slits. "You will regret this, human. The Vorn Imperium will—" "You don't understand," Captain Kim interrupted. "We're still going to help your people if they need it. That's what we do. Now we're going to the planet to treat the sick colonists. When we finish our mission, we'll release your ships." Without waiting for a reply, Captain Kim signaled Officer Lee to end the transmission. The bridge was quiet for a moment. Then Chief Yoon spoke. "They'll call for reinforcements as soon as they can." Captain Kim nodded. "I know. That's why we need to work quickly." He turned to Dr. Park. "Prepare your medical teams. We have a lot of patients waiting." As the UNSS Mercy moved toward the planet, passing between the frozen Vorn warships, Dr. Park stood beside Captain Kim. "That went better than expected," she said quietly. Captain Kim gave her a small smile. "This is just the beginning. The hard part comes next." The UNSS Mercy moved slowly toward Centauri Prime. The 5 Vorn ships floated in space, unable to move or fire their weapons. Inside them, small medical nanites had temporarily stopped their systems from working. On the bridge of the Mercy, Captain Do-Young Kim watched the blue and green planet grow larger on the main screen. "Any contact from the colonies yet?" he asked. Communications Officer Ji-Ho Lee shook his head. "No, sir. I'm still trying all channels." "The Vorn might be blocking communications from the surface," Chief Yoon suggested. Captain Kim nodded. "Keep trying. In the meantime, prepare the medical shuttles. Dr. Park, what's your team's status?" Dr. Haeyeon Park looked up from her tablet. "We're ready. I have 3 teams prepared to go to each of the colonies. We've packed extra supplies since we don't know exactly what we're dealing with." "Good," Captain Kim said. "As soon as we're in orbit, launch the shuttles." Security Chief Junho Yoon frowned. "Captain, with respect, we should send security teams with them. We don't know what's happening on the surface." Captain Kim considered this. "Agreed. 1 security officer per medical team." The ship entered orbit around Centauri Prime. From space, they could see the 3 human colonies, New Seoul, Hope Valley, and Port Landing. They had been built 10 years ago and were home to 50,000 colonists. "Captain," Officer Lee called suddenly. I'm getting a weak signal from New Seoul. Put it through, Captain Kim ordered. The main screen flickered. The image was not clear, but they could see a woman with tired eyes and messy hair. This is Dr. Jin Sunmi of New Seoul Colony, she said, her voice breaking up. Is someone there? Please respond. Dr. Jin, this is Captain Do-Yun Kim of the UNSS Mercy. We received your distress call. What's your situation? Relief showed on Dr. Jin's face. Thank goodness. We've been trying to call for help for days. The disease is spreading, fast. 1/3 of our people are sick now. We've lost 57 already. What about the other colonies? Captain Kim asked. Hope Valley is worse than us, Dr. Jin said. Port Landing was hit first. We haven't heard from them in 2 days. Dr. Park stepped forward. Dr. Jin, this is Dr. Hyun Park. What treatments have you tried? Everything we have, Dr. Jin replied, frustration in her voice. Antibiotics, antivirals, nothing works. And now we have another problem. There are aliens on the planet. Everyone on the bridge looked at each other. Vorn? Chief Yoon asked. Dr. Jin nodded. Yes. They landed 3 days ago. They set up some kind of equipment near each colony. That's when our communications stopped working properly. Captain Kim's face hardened. Have they attacked you? No, Dr. Jin said. They're staying away from us. I think they're afraid of the disease. Dr. Park tapped her chin thoughtfully. Or they're studying it. We're sending medical teams down now, Captain Kim told Dr. Jin. Can you meet them at the landing pad? Yes, Dr. Jin said. Please hurry. The screen went dark. Launch medical shuttles, Captain Kim ordered. 3 white shuttles left the Mercy's Bay. Each carried a team of doctors, nurses, and 1 security officer. Dr. Park went with the team heading to New Seoul. As the shuttles flew toward the planet, Chief Choi came to the bridge. Captain, I've been monitoring the nanites on the Vorn ships, he said. They're beginning to fail. How long do we have? Captain Kim asked. 2 hours at most, Chief Choi answered. The Vorn are finding ways to remove them. Captain Kim nodded. That's all we need. Keep me updated. On the Vorn command ship, War Leader Kazak was furious. His scales had turned a deep red color. His officers stayed back, afraid of his anger. What is happening to our ships? He demanded. A Vorn scientist stood nervously before him. War Leader, the human ship released tiny machines onto our hulls. They have entered our systems and disrupted the power flow. Can you stop them? Kazak hissed. We are trying, the scientist said. We have found a way to destroy some of them, but it will take time. Kazak slammed his clawed hand down on his chair. And what of our teams on the planet? Still in position, another officer reported. The humans have sent small ships to the colonies. Kazak's eyes narrowed. They must not interfere with the experiment. Tell our ground teams to prepare. On Centauri Prime, the medical shuttles landed. In New Seoul Colony, Dr. Park and her team stepped out into the sunlight. The colony was built in a wide valley, with neat rows of buildings and green parks. But now the streets were almost empty. Dr. Jin Sunmi waited for them at the landing pad. She was thin and looked very tired. Thank you for coming, she said, leading them toward the colony's medical center. We've moved most of the sick here, but some are in their homes. The medical center was full. Every bed was taken. People lay on makeshift beds on the floor. Many had blue spots on their skin. They breathed with difficulty. Medical staff moved between them, doing what they could. Dr. Park and her team went to work immediately. They set up their equipment and began examining patients. The blue spots are interesting, Dr. Park said as she looked at samples under a microscope. I've never seen bacteria like this. One of her nurses called her over to a patient. Doctor, look at this. The patient was a young man. The blue spots on his skin seemed to be moving, just a little. Dr. Park leaned closer. These aren't symptoms, she said slowly. These are parasites. She took a sample of the blue spot and put it in an analyzer. The results came back quickly. It's not a disease, she told Dr. Jin. It's a parasite that acts like a disease. It gets into the bloodstream and attacks the lungs and heart. Can you treat it? Dr. Jin asked. Dr. Park nodded. Yes. Our nanites can target and remove the parasites. She tapped her communicator. Captain Kim, we've identified the problem. It's a parasite, not a virus or bacteria. We're beginning treatment now. Good work, Captain Kim's voice came back. The other teams report the same findings. How long will treatment take? A few hours for each patient, Dr. Park answered. We'll start with the worst cases. As they prepared the treatments, security, Officer Yoon came over to Dr. Park. Doctor, I've been scouting the area, he said quietly. There's a Vorn camp about 2 kilometers east of here. What are they doing? Dr. Park asked. They have some kind of equipment, Officer Yoon said. It's pointed at the colony. Dr. Park frowned. Take samples of the parasite to the shuttle. I want to run a more detailed analysis. While her team began treating patients, Dr. Park went to the shuttle. She put the parasite sample in the advanced medical scanner and studied the results carefully. Her eyes widened. This isn't natural, she said to herself. This parasite has been engineered. She tapped her communicator again. Captain, I need to speak with you privately. Go ahead, Doctor, Captain Kim's voice came back. I've analyzed the parasite, Dr. Park said. It's been artificially created. Someone made this. There was silence for a moment. Then Captain Kim spoke, his voice hard. The Vorn. It seems likely, Dr. Park agreed. They have camps near each colony with equipment pointed at them. A biological weapon, Captain Kim said. They're testing it on our colonies. Yes, Dr. Park said. But we can treat it. Our nanites can remove the parasites completely. Continue. The treatments, Captain Kim ordered. I'll deal with the Vorn. Back on the Mercy, Captain Kim called his officers together. The Vorn have been using a biological weapon on our colonies, he told them. We need to stop them permanently. Their ships are starting to regain power, Chief Choi reported. We have less than an hour before they can fire weapons again. Captain Kim looked at them each in turn. Then we need to act now. Here's what we're going to do. On the planet's surface, the Vorn scientists were monitoring their equipment when alarms started to sound. What's happening? The lead scientist asked. The parasites are dying, another Vorn reported. Something is killing them. The lead scientist looked at his screens in shock. How is this possible? The humans shouldn't have technology that can stop our creation. In the colony, Dr. Park watched as her patients began to improve. The blue spots were fading as the medical nanites destroyed the parasites. People who had been near death were sitting up, breathing more easily. This is amazing, Dr. Jin said, watching the patients recover. How do your nanites work so quickly? Dr. Park smiled. They were designed to heal. That's what humans do best. A nurse ran into the room. Dr. Park, Vorn soldiers are approaching the colony. Dr. Park's smile disappeared. Get everyone inside. Seal the doors. She tapped her communicator. Captain, we have a problem. Vorn troops are coming. I see them, Captain Kim replied from orbit. Don't worry, Doctor. I've got a solution ready. Above the planet, the UNSS Mercy positioned itself over New Sol Colony. Inside the ship, Captain Kim stood on the bridge. Are the medical transporters ready? He asked. Yes, sir, Chief Choi replied. Targeting the Vorn troops now. Energize, Captain Kim ordered. On the planet's surface, the Vorn soldiers were marching toward the colony when suddenly the air around them shimmered with light. In an instant, they disappeared. In the colony, Dr. Park's communicator beeped. Doctor, please come to the main square, Captain Kim's voice said. Dr. Park hurried outside. In the center of the colony's main square, 20 confused Vorn soldiers stood inside glowing containment fields. Nearby, a hologram of Captain Kim appeared. The same thing is happening at the other colonies, he told Dr. Park. 3 days passed. The UNSS Mercy stayed in orbit around Centauri Prime. The 5 Vorn ships floated nearby, still disabled by the resonance pulses from the medical ship's scanners. On the planet, the situation was improving rapidly. Dr. Ha-Yun, Park and her medical teams had treated all the sick colonists. The blue parasites were gone. People who had been near death a few days ago were now walking around, getting back to their normal lives. In New Seoul Colony, Dr. Park was checking on the last few patients in the medical center when Captain Do-Yun, Kim, arrived. He had come down from the Mercy to see the progress firsthand. "How are things going, Doctor?" he asked. Dr. Park smiled. "Very well, Captain. The last group of patients will be released today. The parasites are completely gone from all 3 colonies." "And what about our guests?" Captain Kim asked, referring to the Vorn prisoners. "They're stable," Dr. Park said. "The containment fields are keeping them comfortable. They seem surprised that we're treating them well." Captain Kim nodded. "The Vorn respect strength, but they don't understand mercy. It's a new concept for them." They walked outside. The colony was coming back to life. People were in the streets again. Some were cleaning up. Others were working in the gardens. Children were playing in the park. "You know," Dr. Park said quietly, "I've been studying the parasites from the Vorn. They're actually quite remarkable." "How so?" Captain Kim asked. "They live in perfect balance with the Vorn body," she explained. "They provide some benefits: extra energy, faster healing. In return, the Vorn body gives them a home. It's a good example of symbiosis. But they're deadly to humans," Captain Kim pointed out. "Yes, because our biology is different," Dr. Park agreed. "But I think I can modify them. Change their structure just enough so they won't harm humans." Captain Kim looked at her with surprise. "You mean humans could use these parasites too?" "Possibly," Dr. Park said. "With the right changes, they might actually help us. Imagine, faster, healing, disease resistance, maybe even longer life." Before Captain Kim could respond, his communicator beeped. "Captain," Officer Lee's voice came through. "The Vorn communication probe has returned. War Leader Kazak is requesting to speak with you." "I'll be right up," Captain Kim replied. He turned to Dr. Park. "Keep working on your research, Doctor. It might be very important soon." He returned to the Mercy. On the bridge, the crew was at their stations. The main screen showed the disabled Vorn ships. "Open a channel to War Leader Kazak," Captain Kim ordered. The screen changed to show the Vorn leader. Kazak looked different. His scales were a calmer color. His posture seemed less aggressive. "Captain Kim," he said, his voice more formal than before. "I have spoken with the Vorn High Command." "And what is their response?" Captain Kim asked. "They were surprised by what happened here," Kazak admitted. "No one has ever disabled a Vorn fleet without destroying it, and no one has ever offered to help us instead of killing us. We're a medical ship," Captain Kim reminded him. "Our purpose is to heal, not harm." Kazak made a small gesture with his clawed hand. "The High Command has authorized me to negotiate. We are interested in your offer regarding the parasites." Captain Kim nodded. "Dr. Park believes she can modify them so they won't harm humans, but she needs more information about Vorn biology." "I will provide whatever is needed," Kazak said, "but I have conditions." "I'm listening," Captain Kim said. "First, you will return our soldiers," Kazak stated. "Second, you will restore power to our ships. Third, you will share this resonance technology with us." Captain Kim raised his eyebrows. "That's a lot to ask from someone whose fleet is disabled." "I am not asking for weapons," Kazak pointed out. "The resonance technology has medical uses, does it not?" "It does," Captain Kim admitted. "We use it for deep tissue scanning." "Then, it is a fair exchange," Kazak said. "Your medical knowledge for ours." Captain Kim thought for a moment. "I can agree to the first 2 conditions. For the third, I'll need approval from my superiors. But I can share some basic medical technology now as a show of good faith." Kazak's scales rippled slightly, showing his interest. "What do you propose?" "Dr. Park can come to your ship to examine you and your crew," Captain Kim offered. "She'll bring medical supplies and begin studying how to modify the parasites safely." "You would send your doctor to us?" Kazak seemed surprised. "We are still enemies." "No," Captain Kim shook his head. We were never enemies. We're just two species who need to understand each other better. After a long pause, Kazakh nodded. Agreed. When can the doctor come? Today, Captain Kim said. I'll send a shuttle with Dr. Park and a small team. When the transmission ended, Chief Yoon stepped forward. Captain, is it wise to send Dr. Park to their ship? He asked with concern. She'll have a security team with her, Captain Kim assured him, and I don't think the Vorn will try anything now. They're too curious about our medical technology. A few hours later, Dr. Park's shuttle docked with the Vorn command ship. She and her team, including 2 security officers, were met by Vorn, guards who led them to the ship's medical bay. The Vorn ship was very different from the Mercy. It was darker, warmer, and the air smelled strange. The walls seemed to be made of a crystal-like material that glowed softly. In the medical bay, Kazakh was waiting. He looked at the human medical equipment with interest. Your technology is different from ours, he noted. Different but compatible in many ways, Dr. Park said. She set up her equipment. May I scan you, war leader? It will help me understand how the parasites live in your body. Kazakh hesitated, then nodded. Proceed. Dr. Park ran her scanner over him. The readings appeared on her tablet. Fascinating, she said. The parasites are throughout your system, but mostly concentrated around your major organs. They actually help your body function better. Yes, Kazakh confirmed. All Vorn have them, from birth. Without them, we would be weaker, slower to heal. With your permission, I'd like to take samples and begin work on modifying them, Dr. Park said. For what purpose? Kazakh asked suspiciously. 2 reasons, Dr. Park explained. First, to make them safe for humans so we can live in the same environment without threat. Second, to possibly adapt them for human use, with proper safeguards. Kazakh's eyes widened slightly. You would use our parasites in your own bodies? If they can be made safe, yes, Dr. Park nodded. They could help humans heal faster, resist disease, maybe even live longer. For the first time, Kazakh seemed genuinely impressed. Your species is not what I expected, Doctor. Over the next week, Dr. Park worked with Vorn scientists. They shared information and samples. Together, they made progress on modifying the parasites. On the final day, Captain Kim came to the Vorn ship for a formal meeting with Kazakh. They met in the ship's command center. Dr. Park tells me the research is going well, Captain Kim said. Yes, Kazakh agreed. Your doctor is very skilled. Our scientists have learned much from her. And we've learned from you, Captain Kim acknowledged. This cooperation benefits both our species. Kazakh made a formal gesture with both hands. The Vorn High Command has sent new orders. The Centauri system will be recognized as shared territory between our peoples. We will establish a joint research station here to continue our work on the parasites. Captain Kim smiled. That's excellent news. I'll inform Earth's government immediately. As they concluded their meeting, Kazakh said something unexpected. You have taught the Vorn an important lesson, Captain. What lesson is that? Captain Kim asked. That true strength lies not only in the ability to destroy, Kazakh said, but also in the wisdom to heal. When Captain Kim and Dr. Park returned to the Mercy, the crew was waiting for them on the bridge. The mission was a success, Captain Kim announced. We've established peace with the Vorn and saved the colonies. Chief Yoon shook his head in amazement. And all with a medical ship, not a warship. Dr. Park smiled. Sometimes the best way to win isn't to fight harder, but to heal better. Captain, Kim looked out at the stars. Set course for home, he ordered. Let's tell Earth about our new allies. As the UNSS Mercy moved away from Centauri Prime, the Vorn ships formed an honor guard around it. The ship that had come to heal had done much more. It had created understanding between 2 different species. The Vorn had thought a human medical ship was helpless. Now their fleet was in ruins, but in its place, something better had been built. A partnership that would benefit both humans and Vorn for generations to come. The end. War leader Kazakh stared at the human captain on his screen. His yellow eyes narrowed to thin slits. His scales had turned almost black with rage. "You dare to capture Vorn soldiers?" he hissed. "You will pay for this insult." Captain Do-Yun Kim remained calm. "War leader, we know what you've been doing. The sickness in our colonies isn't natural. Your people created it." Kazakh didn't deny it. Instead, his mouth curved into what might have been a smile. "Of course. The parasite is a marvel of Vorn science. We wanted to see how effective it would be against humans." "You used our people as test subjects," Captain Kim said. His voice was still calm, but his eyes were hard. "That is against all galactic laws." Kazakh made a dismissive gesture. "Laws made by the weak to protect the weak. The Vorn Imperium recognizes only strength. Your colonies are in our territory now." "The Centauri system has been a human settlement for 10 years, Captain Kim pointed out. "It is recognized by the Galactic Council." "The Council is far away," Kazakh said, "and you are alone here, just one medical ship against 5 warships. On the bridge of the UNSS Mercy, Officer Mi-Sun Kang whispered to Captain Kim, "Sir, the Vorn ships are regaining power. 2 of them have weapons back online." Captain Kim nodded slightly. "War leader, I'm offering you a choice. Take your soldiers and leave this system. We will forget this incident." Kazakh's scales rippled with what seemed like amusement. "You are not in a position to make offers, human. Our weapons are coming back online. Your trick with the tiny machines was clever, but it won't save you." "I had hoped we could resolve this peacefully," Captain Kim said with a sigh. "But you leave me no choice." He signaled to Officer Lee to end the transmission. The Vorn leader's face disappeared from the screen. "Status of the medical teams?" Captain Kim asked. "All reporting good progress," Officer Lee replied. "Dr. Park says most patients are responding well to treatment. And the captured Vorn soldiers, secure in containment fields at all 3 colonies." Captain Kim turned to Chief Engineer Tae-Wan Choi. "Chief, how are the nanites holding up?" "Not well, Captain," Chief Choi answered. "The Vorn have found a way to neutralize them. 3 of their ships now have full power. The other 2 are at 60%. As if to prove his point, the ship suddenly shook. A warning alarm sounded. "Direct hit on our rear shields," Officer Kang reported. "Shields at 82%. Another blast hit them. The ship rocked again. 75% shields," Officer Kang updated. "They're targeting our engines." Captain Kim made a quick decision. "All power to shields, contact Dr. Park. Tell her we need to speed up the treatment plan." On the surface of Centauri Prime, Dr. Hae-Eun Park received the message from the Mercy. She was in the New Seoul Colony Medical Center, watching as the last of the seriously ill patients received nanite treatment. "The Vorn ships are attacking the Mercy," she told her team. "We need to finish here quickly." Dr. Jin Sunmi looked worried. "But what about the patients who are still waiting? There are hundreds who haven't been treated yet." Dr. Park thought for a moment. "We'll modify the nanites to self-replicate faster. It will use more resources, but we can treat everyone at once." She went to work, reprogramming the medical nanites. Her fingers moved quickly over her equipment. "This is risky," one of her nurses warned. "If the nanites replicate too fast, they could get out of control." "I'll build in a shut-off command," Dr. Park assured her. "They'll stop replicating after 12 hours. She finished the programming and looked at Dr. Jin. "Ready?" Dr. Jin nodded. "Let's do it." They released the modified nanites into the colony's air system. The tiny machines spread quickly, entering people's bodies and attacking the parasites. In minutes, even those with mild symptoms began to improve. Dr. Park watched the monitors. "It's working. The parasites are being destroyed." Outside the medical center, Security Officer Yoon was guarding the captured Vorn soldiers. He noticed something strange happening to them. The Vorn were shivering and their scales were turning a pale blue color. He called Dr. Park. "Doctor, I think something's wrong with the Vorn prisoners." Dr. Park hurried outside. She scanned one of the Vorn with her medical device. "The nanites," she said with surprise. "They're affecting the Vorn too. But how?" They were programmed only to target the parasites. She looked more closely at her scanner. Wait, there are parasites inside the Vorn too, but they're not sick. The parasites are living in harmony with them. Suddenly she understood. The Vorn aren't just using the parasites as a weapon. They're carriers. The parasites live naturally in their bodies without harming them but attack. Humans! She tapped her communicator. Captain Kim, I have important information about the Vorn. In orbit, the UNSS Mercy was taking heavy fire. The shields were holding, but they wouldn't last much longer. Shields at 45%, Officer Kang reported. We can't take much more of this. Captain Kim received Dr. Park's message. As he listened to her discovery, his face showed understanding. So the parasites are natural to the Vorn, he said. That's why they were studying them on our colonies. They wanted to see if their natural parasites could be used as weapons. Yes, Dr. Park's voice came through. And our nanites are now affecting the Vorn prisoners because they're targeting the parasites. Captain Kim looked at Chief Choi. Can we modify our nanites to target the parasites in the Vorn ships? Chief Choi shook his head. The nanites on their ships are mostly destroyed. We would need to deliver new ones. Another blast rocked the ship. 38% shields, Officer Kang called out. We need a new plan, Captain Kim said. He thought for a moment. Chief Yoon, what frequencies affect Vorn biology? Chief Yoon checked his console. They're sensitive to high-pitched sounds and certain light wavelengths, and their ships use crystalline technology, Captain Kim mused, which can be disrupted by resonance frequencies, Chief Choi finished. But our ship isn't designed to produce those kinds of waves. No, Captain Kim agreed, but our medical scanner arrays are. They use harmonic resonance to map human bodies. Chief Choi's eyes widened. You want to use our medical scanners as weapons? Not weapons, Captain Kim corrected. Tools. We're not going to destroy their ships. Just disable them again. He gave quick orders. The crew moved fast, recalibrating the ship's medical scanners to produce powerful resonance waves. Ready, Captain, Chief Choi reported after a few minutes. Target their command ship first, Captain Kim ordered. Narrow beam, focus on their weapon systems. The UNSS Mercy turned its main scanner array toward the Vorn flagship. There was no visible beam, but the scanner was sending out powerful resonance waves. On the Vorn command ship, systems began to fail. Crystals cracked. Control panels went dark. What's happening? Kazak demanded as his ship's lights flickered. Unknown energy affecting our crystals, a Vorn officer reported, panic in his voice. Weapons failing, engines offline. One by one, the other Vorn ships experienced the same problems. Their crystalline technology was highly advanced, but also vulnerable to the precise resonance frequencies the Mercy was emitting. Within minutes, all 5 Vorn ships were drifting powerless in space once again. On the Mercy's bridge, the crew watched in silence. All Vorn ships disabled, Chief Yoon confirmed. Damage. Report? Captain Kim asked. Shields at 32%, Officer Kang said. Minor damage to decks 3 and 4, no casualties. Captain Kim nodded. Good. Now let's make sure the Vorn understand exactly what happened here today. He opened a channel to all Vorn ships. War Leader Kazak, can you hear me? There was no response at first. Then the screen flickered, showing the Vorn leader. The lighting on his ship was dim. Emergency systems only. What have you done, human? Kazak asked, his voice quieter now. I've done what was necessary to protect our people, Captain Kim answered. Your ships are disabled but intact. Your crews are unharmed, but you will not threaten our colonies again. You cannot keep us like this forever, Kazak said. I don't intend to, Captain Kim replied. I'm going to offer you a choice one more time. Dr. Park has discovered that the parasites you used against our colonies live naturally in your bodies. They don't harm you, but they're deadly to humans. Kazak said nothing, but his scales changed, color slightly. We can help you, Captain Kim continued. Our medical technology can modify the parasites so they won't harm humans but will still live safely in your bodies. Our colonies and your people could coexist in this system. Or Kazak asked suspiciously. Or we can use our resonance technology to disable any Vorn ship that enters this system, Captain Kim said simply. And we'll share this technology with all human colonies. Kazak's eyes narrowed. You would threaten the entire Vorn Imperium? No, Captain Kim shook his head. I'm offering to solve a problem. What happens next is your choice. The Vorn leader was silent for a long moment. Then he spoke. I must consult with the Imperium, he said slowly. Captain Kim nodded. I'll allow one communication probe to leave this system. The rest of your ships stay here until we reach an agreement. After the transmission ended, Officer Lee turned to Captain Kim. Do you think they'll agree, sir? Captain Kim looked out at the disabled Vorn fleet. I think they've learned an important lesson today, he said. Never assume a medical ship is helpless.